did you have to do as a coat check person? You took the coat?
Took the coat and hung it up.
Chit?
That's right. And there was a dish on the counter where people would throw $1 or a quarter or a dime or whatever they wanted
And you
to
split
pay.
it?
No, Mrs. Grant took it all. And and then she paid us.
I see.
Yeah, I can't remember what we got paid, but it was more than babysitting, I'll tell you. So it was kind of, and Mr. Grant was the bell captain, and they had bellboys in those days in the lobby with the little hats, the round hats that were flat on top, and uniforms.
That was his main job.
And some of them were cute.
Now this is where the old library was.
Yes.
It was a beautiful library.
And I don't really even remember it being here, but I'll take your word for it.
It was. This is where
Okay.
they built the Telus Tower and the
Okay.
Alberta College on it.
CUNY University.
Yeah. So you would come to the library how?
By bus with my dad sometimes, and sometimes alone when I got older. And it would be
What's the next stop, Shell?
Downtown Library, American Dairy Lunch, Jasper.
so you have to go back to
102nd Street.
Jasper.
Okay.
And then on to the Garno Theater.
Okay, thank you. And so you would come to the library and you'd take books out, or
Yes.
you'd read there, or what?
No, I took books out. I can remember I had a black kind of a briefcase type thing that I carried, and I felt very grown up. And
Books that helped you in school, or
no, just fiction, because I had the encyclopedias at home.
I remember you found when I was a boy, you found a classified ad for used Hardy Boy books.
Yeah,
And-
you guys used to read those.
And then Dad drove me across the city or somewhere to get
Oh,
maybe 20 Hardy Boys books that I still have.
wow.
Do you remember that, Pops? And I read them in about 20 days.
Yeah.
I love the Hardy Boys. Okay, next stop, American Dairy
Dairy
Lunch.
lunch.
We'll just loop around
Sure.
because it's on the south side of Jasper, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I've never heard of this dairy lunch thing.
So lunch counters used to be a big thing.
Yes, that's what they called them, lunch counters. What was the store you worked at, Shelley, in high school? At Londonderry?
Wilco.
Wilco.
Strawberry Street was the cafeteria in Wilco.
Ah. Kresge's. There was a store called Kresge's that had a lunch counter.
So things have changed a bit here.
They've changed a bit.
Do you come downtown much?
Not much. Just the odd doctor appointment. And can't really recognize the downtown from a distance anymore with all the new high rises. So the American Dairy Lunch that we're going to, that was another tradition with the Dorshenko family. We'd come downtown after Mass and have lunch at the American Dairy Lunch. And then we would cross the street and window shop at the Hudson's Bay. In their windows, they would have mannequins with fashions, and so that was a real treat to see what we might wear someday.
So who was all at those lunches? Like
The
Mr. and Mrs.
Dorshenko family,
your
yeah.
parents,
Yeah,
you, and then the Dorshenko kids.
right.
And there were 3 of them.
Yes, but I don't think Orest came. The boy. I don't think he was interested in that.
And what was the food like? Or what would you order? Was it like Greasy Spoon?
No,
Restaurant food?
It was usually just dessert,
Oh.
from what I can remember. You'd walk in, and there was a big glass cabinet that displayed all these luscious-looking desserts. So
Point out
seems to
where
me-
Dairy Lunch was. We're
Yeah.
coming up to
We're
103rd Street
coming
now.
up to it. Okay, there's the Paramount Theater.
It was on the other side?
No, it's the same side just before the Paramount. That's where my dad, the Silk Hat, that's where I came with my dad once and we had hot beef sandwiches.
So Silk Hat and Dairy Lunch were at the same place?
No, there's the Silk Hat, the Paramount Theater,
Yeah.
and then the American Dairy Lunch.
And was the American Dairy Lunch in the Strand Theater?
No, I don't think so. Okay, I guess it's where this Donaire place is. That's where the Top Hat was. And there was the theater and, oh boy, American Dairy Lunch in here, where this building is.
So cool. Okay, now we're going to cross the river. And then we get close. I think our next stop is the Garneau Skating Rink. Is that right, Joe?
Or Garneau Theater, or whichever
Garneau
way we're
Theater.
going.
So
There are no
where
tennis courts.
where did Pops live when you guys met?
He lived in a 3-story house in, I don't know if you call it Glenora, but it was on 126th Street and about 111th Avenue. There are some beautiful big houses there. That used to be the
10908, wasn't it?
109th Avenue and 126th Street.
Do you remember that house, Pops?
And you lived with a bunch of guys.
Just a friend that he came west with, Ed Lowen. They came to work in the gold mines up north and
Seriously?
make their fortune.
You came to work in the gold mines, Pops?
Yeah, up north. But just then they had was it a weather event or a strike
Explosion.
or an explosion that destroyed them? So that
Destroyed what?
the gold mine or the jobs for the people, whatever.
Do you remember that, Pops?
Yep.
And so they just bummed around for a while, and then they decided they better get to work. So they went back to the CN, and they were taken on right away. And so Dad worked in
But
Calder Yards.
Where did you want to work, like Pops? Yukon or what?
It was in the Yukon, wasn't it? The gold mine?
And Keno Mine somewhere.
I didn't know that, Glenn. You?
No. That's great.
And Dad him and Ed didn't have much money for food. And although Dad did cook a bit, and he still is a good cook, they used to go to what was very new at that time. They were called smorgasbords instead of buffets. They're buffets now. And there was one called the Viking,